Thank you guys for joining me. This video is going to be a companion to the challenge that I've given to my students to use some of their free time or their reading time where they would traditionally find a book or a comic or an article online to read, and instead use this time to study or research a foreign language. It could be Spanish, Farsi, in my case it would be Korean. And so what this video is really about is more about instruction, in a sense, based on learning that I've done through my study of Korean. It's an accountability measure because, well, for me personally, where I can share what I've learned, and it also helps to keep me, again, accountable for continuing to learn, just as I expect it from my students. So if you're able to respond, whether it's over text or in Google Classroom or with a video that your parents want to send me, where you're showing me something that you've learned as you're researching or studying a foreign language, I would really appreciate that. So long way of saying I'm going to use these videos as rehearsal or reteaching of my learning to even those interested in studying with me or learning with me, Korean specifically. That way we can kind of keep pace. So every day I'll post something new that I've learned, which means that I have to study every day, 30 minutes to an hour. I'm trying to hit an hour, and I suggest you do the same. All right, so let's get started. Today's learning is pretty simple in a way. I've learned about the structure of a Korean sentence, or a sentence in Korean, relative to that of an English sentence. So in English, we have a subject, a verb, and an object. So we'll have the thing being discussed or talked about, which is our subject, the verb, which is an action related to that subject, and that verb will act upon what's called an object. So I'll give you a couple of examples. I'll give you an example. I went to the park. I being the subject, went is what I'm doing, to the park. Park being the object of where I'm going, or the verb. I will go to the park. I being the subject, go being the action, park being the object of that action. My mom loves me. My mom being the subject, loves being the action, and then me being the object of that action. And there's a lot of other examples. However, in Korean, the structure is a bit different. Instead of subject, verb, object, it's subject, object, and then the verb. And something similar with adjectives as well, but we'll talk about that later. So as an example, in English I would say, I ate a hamburger. Right? I being the subject, ate being the action, hamburger being the object of that action. Yet in Korean, I would say, instead in Korean, I would start with my subject, so I, again, but then instead of my verb followed by the object, I would have the object followed by the verb. So in this example, I, hamburger, ate. So subject, object, verb. Another example is, in English, I would say, I pet my cat. So I being the subject, pet being the verb, cat being the object of the verb. Yet in Korean, I would say I, cat, pet, right? So I being the subject, cat being the object, and the verb being pet. So it switched around a bit. Anywho, this is just my quick video on the sentence structure in a Korean sentence as related to subject, object, verb. All right, in the next video, I'm going to break a little bit more into the concept of particles as they relate to subjects and objects. These are things that you would attach to nouns, specifically in a sentence, but don't worry about that right now. This video, again, just talks about the sentence structure in a Korean sentence. All right, I hope to hear about some learning that you've done, or perhaps you're learning Korean with me and you'd like to use these videos as a companion, in which case, please leave me a comment in Google Classroom or on this video and give me some suggestions about what you'd like to see. All right, for now, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.